Welcome to my video on polymers in fashion and clothing.
My video will be on lycra, Gore-Tex, nylon, silk, Kevlar, polyester and cotton. All of the references are in the description box and all of the links on the slides are actually for the images. I also drew quite a lot of the images that may appear on the slides, but I've referenced them as well. Lycra is very elastic, composed of polyether and polyurea copolymers. It's highly breathable, has low heat retention, is moisture wicking, which means it takes moisture from the surface of your skin and brings it to the surface of the actual fabric, and then also has a high stretchability. It's composed of a rubbery segment, a soft rubbery segment, and a rigid segment. There are urethane linkages which actually link these two together. These urethane linkages will actually form hydrogen bonds with other chains and therefore causes the rigid segments to align. This allows the soft rubbery segments to stretch up to 600% more than its original shape. This is why lycra is super stretchy. It's developed by DuPont corporations as an alternate for rubber, but it's really bad for the environment as you cannot recycle it. It's used for outdoor apparel such as leggings, sports bras, underwear, socks, and even motion capture suits. How is lycra made? Firstly, you make a pre-polymer by mixing macroglycol with diisocyanate monomer in a special vessel. Then dry spinning occurs and this pre-polymer reacts with diamine acid. The solution is diluted, placed in a fiber production cell. It is spun to produce fibers and cure fibers. It's pushed through a spinneret and the fibers are then heated in nitrogen and solvent gas to form a liquid polymer strands. These strands are twisted together and then finished with magnesium stearate as a finishing agent. It's then transferred to a spool and weaved into fabric. Let's move on to Gore-Tex, which is a fabric made up of multiple layers. It's made from polytetrafluoroethylene, also known as DuPont Teflon. Bob Gore discovered that PTFE could be stretched to form strong, porous material. Gore-Tex is expanded PTFE or ePTFE. It's chemically inert and there are 3 types depending on how weatherproof you need it to be. So this is the monomer and this is the polymer. Gore-Tex is waterproof, microporous, has low water absorbance, is windproof and has good weathering properties, is incredibly strong, breathable, blocks rain but allows sweat to escape, and also has sealed seams that completely waterproofs it. So it has a lining layer for comfortability, the membrane layer, which is the actual ePTFE. The membrane contains over 9 billion microscopic pores, which are about 20,000 times smaller than water droplets, but actually 700 times bigger than water vapor. This allows sweat to evaporate off the surface of the skin, but doesn't allow water to actually penetrate through the fabric. The laminate is actually a fusing, and then the outer layer is for comfortability and for visual appearance, so it's usually nylon. It's used for socks, shoes, and outdoor apparel such as coats. Let's move on to nylon, which is polyamide synthetic developed by DuPont corporations, developed whilst trying to find an alternative to silk for parachutes, and was originally called no run because they thought that it would not run for tights. However, runs were common in nylon tights too, so it was changed to no run, which is just no run backwards, but it wasn't catchy enough, and then it was changed to nylon with an I, but the pronunciation kept getting skewed, so they changed it to nylon with a Y. These are the monomers, hexane 1,6-dioic acid and 1,6-diaminohexane. And this is the polymer nylon. As you can see, an amide bond is formed. So the properties include low breathability, medium moisture wicking, medium heat retention, high stretchability, melts at 215 degrees Celsius and has very low friction. Nylon is used for stockings, tights, outdoor apparel such as leggings, rope and even trousers. How is nylon made? Firstly, diamine acid is extracted from crude oil. It's combined with adipic acid to create a polymer known as nylon salt. It's heated and turned into a molten substance. The substance is then extruded through a metal spinneret. It's then loaded onto a spool called a bobbin. The fibers are stretched to increase their strength and elasticity, and they are wound onto another spool which is called drawing. The spinning results So essentially the fibers are then spun into garments and then dyed as an end product. Silk is created by larva cocoons for silkworms. The shimmer is created by triangular prism-like structure of the silk fiber. The origin of silk is in China. and the composition is fibrin. This is the primary structure of the polypeptide, which is fibrin. It's made up of glycine, serine, glycine, alanine, glycine and another alanine, and then in between of those they are linked via peptide bonds. Spider silk contains a high proportion of beta pleated sheet regions which have a very regular structure. They are separated by segments containing amino acids with a really bulky side chain, and they are less structured. The structured rigid beta pleated sheets and the bulky unstructured amino acids give the spider web strength and elasticity so they can stretch but not break. It's kind of like lycra. Silk has many properties. It's not got great elastic recovery, it can withstand heat, it decomposes at 175 degrees Celsius, sun can encourage decomposition, it's lustrous and highly breathable, highly moisture wicking and has low heat retention. Silk is used for lingerie, undergarments, it's also used as a curtain, it's also used for parsons. How is silk made? Firstly, the cocoons are harvested. Then they are unraveled either by hand or using an automated machine. They find the loose end and load it through a porcelain eyelet on a reel that unravels the silk. The strands are then attached together to make one continuous string. These strings are then twisted together to make a yarn, which is rolled to make it more uniform. Then dyeing occurs. After that, the silk can then be woven into garments and other types of textiles. Let's talk about Kevlar. It's a polyamide, more specifically an aramid. It's synthetic and requires crude oils to make. The monomers are 1,4-phenylene diamine and terephthalonyl chloride. They form an amide bond between them and one molecule of hydrochloric acid. Polymers are formed, which is the Kevlar, and as you can see, they are attached via the amide bond. The HCl needs to be removed. Properties of Kevlar include that it's 5 times stronger than steel, lightweight and flexible, bulletproof, high tensile strength, low electrical conductivity, high chemical resistant, low thermal shrinkage, tough and flame resistant, along with cut resistant. Why is it so strong? This is because there are benzene rings between the amide groups, which causes limited bond rotation. There's also hydrogen bonds that occur between the chains, fixing them into position and stopping chains from slipping over each other. It's spun into fibers and the chain orientate along the fiber axis with the hydrogen bonds linking adjacent chains. The sheets stack along the radii, giving a really ordered crystalline structure, and this polymer is processed in the liquid crystal phase, forming a very strong fiber. Kevlar is used for kayaks, bulletproof vest, cut-resistant gloves, skis, and even shrapnel-resistant parts of jets. How is Kevlar made? Firstly, diamine acid is extracted from crude oil. It's combined with adipic acid to create a polymer known as nylon salt. It's heated and the crystallized substance is then melted. It's extruded through a metal spinneret, loaded onto a spool, stretched to increase strength and elasticity, drawn onto another spool, then spun into garments or other forms of fibers, and then they are finished by either weaving them into other textiles or using them as they are. So cotton is made from the fibers of the cotton plant. It is derived from the protective casing that surrounds cotton seeds. True blue jeans are 100% cotton. It's the most widely used textile in the world. 75% of the world's clothing products contain cotton, and it can be used to practically make any type of textile for any type of use. Fibers contain 4 things: a cuticle, which is made out of wax, pectic material, and mineral matter. This gives the cotton its feel. Primary wool, which is the outside skin of matured fibers. Secondary wool, which is the successive layers of cellulose. Cellulose is the main polymer in cotton. Lumen, which is actually just the hull. Cellulose is made out of beta-glucose monomers, forms glycosidic bonds, and is a polysaccharide. The properties of cotton include that it has high moisture wicking abilities, excellent resistance to degradation by heat, medium heat retention, tenacity of 3 to 5 grams per meters per density, and then medium stretchability, and it's moderately strong and breathable. Fun fact: India overtook China as the largest cotton producer between 2017 and 2018, producing 6,205,000 metric tons of cotton, compared to China producing 5,987,000 metric tons of cotton in the same period of time. Cotton can be used to make socks, skirts, bags, sweaters, shirts, and any other type of textile. So how is cotton made? Firstly, defoliation occurs, so the leaves are removed from the cotton plant. Then it's harvested and the contaminants are removed. It's formed into bales. A cotton gin separates the cotton seeds from the balls and removes the dirt and the trash. It's transferred to a textile production facility. Carding then occurs as the cotton is formed into long strands. The strands are spun into yarn. Then dyeing may occur and it may be chemically treated. Then it can be woven into any type of textile. Let's move on to polyester. Polyester is polyethylene terephthalate. It's also known as PET and microfiber. It's derived from fossil fuels and organic sources. It's a synthetic fabric. It's common to blend with cotton or other natural fibers. It reduces production costs but decreases comfortability. It improves shrinkage, durability, and wrinkling, but is resistant to environmental conditions. Polyester is an ester polymer. It's made from terephthalate acid and ethylene glycol. As you can see, it's a carboxylic acid reacting with an alcohol, forming an ester bond. Polyester is very breathable, has high moisture wicking abilities, has medium heat retention, medium stretch ability, melts at 250 degrees Celsius, has little friction, and a high luster. Polyester can be used to make shirts, hoodies, shorts, socks, sheets, blankets, and quite a few other things, as it's usually blended. How is polyester made? Firstly, a monomer is created as the ethylene glycol is reacted with dimethyl terephthalate at a high heat. This monomer is then reacted with dimethyl terephthalate again to create a polymer. Then it's extruded in a chamber into long strips, which are cooled and allowed to dry and then broken apart into pieces. The chips are remelted and then extruded again through a spinneret to create fibers. Then the threads that are created are finished and turned into whatever sort of fabric the polyester is needed for. Thank you so much for watching my video.